There's something very wrong with the universe. That's not me being dramatic. It's scientists being very, very worried. We know that the universe began with the Big Bang. There's a lot of evidence for this. For example, distant galaxies are all moving away from us. If we go back in time on our telescopes, we can see that the universe really was a hot, dense soup of particles. But there's a problem. The Big Bang should have created more lithium than we observe in the universe. This is known as the lithium problem. And it's a problem because it means that our models of fundamental physics are wrong. And if our models are wrong, then maybe we don't really understand how the universe works. Now, before I get into the details, let me just say that the amount of lithium in the universe is really tiny. I'm talking about 1 part in 10 to the 10th of a gram. This is really difficult stuff. Okay, so the Big Bang creates energy. The energy gets converted into particles. Those particles, including protons and neutrons, make atomic nuclei. And those atomic nuclei then attract electrons and make atoms. So that's how we get from nothing to lithium. After the Big Bang, the universe was filled with a plasma of particles. The plasma was incredibly hot, and it contained roughly equal numbers of protons and electrons. But the free electrons were quickly snatched up by the positively charged nuclei. Once they were attached to an electron, the nuclei became neutral atoms. Now at first, mostly hydrogen atoms were formed because that's the simplest, and therefore most likely. But as the universe expanded and cooled, the plasma became a bit more like a gas. Then some of the hydrogen nuclei began to bump into each other. When they did, some of them stuck together to form helium. This required a little bit of energy, but it wasn't really a big deal because the gas was still super hot. This went on for a few 100,000 years until almost all the free protons and electrons were locked up in helium or hydrogen. But some lithium was also made in these reactions. And here's where things get weird. According to our models, there should be about 3 times more lithium than we actually observe in the universe today. And that's a big deal because those models are based on our best theories of particle physics. So where did all the lithium go? One idea is that it all turned into helium. But if that were true, then we'd observe a lot more helium in the universe than we actually do. So that can't be the whole story. Another idea is that some unknown process destroyed the lithium. But if that were true, then why hasn't it affected other elements? It seems kind of unlikely that only lithium would be destroyed, and that's the problem. No one knows what happened to all the lithium. It's a mystery that's been around for decades. It's been keeping particle physicists awake at night. Because here's the thing. If we can't even get the amount of lithium in the universe right, then how can we trust our models? If our models are wrong, then some of the physics we take for granted might actually be wrong. Now, I don't want to overstate this. Scientists are still looking for an answer to the lithium problem, and maybe they'll find one soon. But in the meantime, this is a great example of how even the most well-established theories can always be improved. And that's why science is so exciting. If you like optimistic science and tech stories, stay tuned for more.